Okay, in section 3.4, we're going to talk about rational and radical equations. Rational equations are such that equations have a fraction in them. And oftentimes that fraction will have a variable in the denominator. The whole idea when you're working with rational functions is to get your denominator common to all of your terms. You've got to find that common denominator. And there's different techniques that you can use to make that happen. Once you have that common denominator, you can clear your fractions, which essentially means you cross off the denominators all the way across and only solve the numerators. If you look at this equation that we have over here, we've got x divided by 2 is equal to 3 divided by 2. So it seems pretty obvious that x would have to be 3, right? And the reason for that is, well, we can clear these out and we clear our fractions. The same thing is true in this example over here, where I have x divided by x minus 3 is equal to 3 over x minus 3. I have the same denominator on both sides, so I can clear those out. And I can get my answer of x is equal to 3. Where the roadblock is you have to make sure that you check your answers. Because remember, you can't divide by 0. And if you look at this example that we just did, and you put 3 into the denominator, you've got 3 minus 3. That creates a 0 in your denominator, so you can't divide by 0. We have to remember that 3 is not in your initial domain. So therefore, 3 couldn't be an answer in the first place. So therefore, there's going to be no solution. Okay? For radical equations, you're going to either square both sides or take the square root of both sides. The radical means the square root part of it. There's some cube root stuff too. And basically you just do the opposite function. Here we have the square root of x is equal to square root of 9. So to get rid of the square root, I'm going to go ahead and square it. And this is all fine and good. And I get x is equal to 9. However, if we look at this example over here, I get the square root of x is equal to negative 3. Now, first of all, you can't have a square root be a negative number. It's impossible. Okay? But let's say you didn't know that and you wanted to square both sides anyway. It's going to look just fine. You're going to get x is equal to 9. And it's going to look great. You're like, wow, I solved this. It wasn't that hard. But again, if you check your answer and put that back into the original, you're going to say the square root of 9 is equal to minus 3. The square root of 9 is just 3 as a principal square root. And we know that's not true. So again here, there's no solution. And what happens is that when you square both sides in the process of solving an equation, you have the potential to create extraneous roots. It's okay to use that technique. You just have to check your answers at the end. So you just have to watch out for your extraneous roots and just check your answers.